we can see your screen.
Okay, great. Okay, sure. So this is the agenda at a very high level, which we are covering today. So first is what is a data warehouse in general, because SAP BW is a data warehouse, right? So we should start with the basics, what a data warehouse is. Then we will come to what is SAP BW and what is BI, how are they different, right? And then we will cover, why SAP BW is preferred, what are the advantages over others, right? And then we'll talk about the architecture. I have tried to create two views. One is a very simple architecture so that it's easy to understand, whereas it is followed by a slightly more detailed architecture. Okay, and then we will touch upon the roadmap. Like any other SAP product, BW or SAP BI is going through a change and evolution, in order to adapt to the requirements, new requirements. So that I'll cover, and how HANA is helping SAP, or how SAP is leveraging HANA to take that journey. Okay, and the last but not the least, which it's relevant and important to all of us, how does it work out from a career perspective, especially SAP BW. Okay. So apart from this, if there are any other specific questions, please feel free to call out. I'll try to address that also. Okay, so what a data warehouse is, right? So warehouse, as the name suggests, right? It's basically nothing but a repository where a warehouse in general where things are stored, and a data warehouse is a system where data is stored. Okay, now where does this data come from, right? For example, like SAP, the core SAP is actually the ERP, and it's a production system that helps an enterprise to do things and to plan things, right? And there are different aspects of it. Like there is a CRM aspect of it, there is a planning aspect of it, and there are other aspects of SAP also. There are several products in its portfolio, right? And if we think of it from a very, very basic example, right? Suppose I work with a global, supply chain company, or I work with a retail company, right? Which makes soft drinks, for example, right? Now I have to record somewhere where how many the bottles are being sold on a day. So I do that in the ERP, right? I also make a record of where it went, at what price is it sold, all the important things about it, right? Now after that is done, right? Now management, right, would also want to understand that, or at the end of the day, or at the end of the month or the quarter, would want to see what was my total aggregated growth, like how much did I sell through the month, right? Or which area gave me the maximum business, right? So all that data from the individual systems is pushed into a data warehouse system I'm sorry, on top of which reports are run. So these reports are visible to the management, from mid to high level management, where they will go through the reports and understand how that organization is doing, right? And several other aspects of it. So this is basically a core data warehouse. Now if we see here, right, I have highlighted business intelligence also, right? So what is business intelligence? Business intelligence is, it's a combination of the data, how it is being stored, and how it is being projected, or how it is being shown, right? It's a combination of both. So it's a combination of the reporting as well as the data warehousing. That constitutes our business intelligence. Okay. Now, what are the different data warehousing platforms available in the market? SAP BW is definitely one, and I will cover the different variations of SAP BW. Okay, we'll cover that at a later point. Then we have Teradata, we have IBM DB2, and in fact Amazon Redshift and BigQuery. These are the cloud-based, right? Which are fairly new. Whereas SAP BW, Teradata, DB2, these have a long, several years of experience, and now they are also available on cloud. Okay, so these are the popular platforms where which are used for data warehousing. Now, what is SAP BI/BW, right? So I have just tried to explain it in 2 points very simply. I'll try to explain that. So BW is nothing but when it gets data from different types of systems. These could be SAP source systems, SAP ECC, SAP CRM, SAP APO, right? Or this could be non-SAP systems also. There could be databases, different databases, okay, standalone databases. There could be flat files coming in, data coming in the form of flat files, right? All that data is taken from different sources, extracted, and it is transformed, because different data comes in different formats. It is standardized, and it is cleansed also. There are a lot of cases where there may be incorrect data, there may be a special character in it, okay. If all that is done, and finally it is given to the reporting layer, okay, and that is where it becomes BI. It's a BW is a subset of BI. So in BI, for example, there are several reporting tools which sit on top of SAP BW. Some examples, SAP's own tools are SAP Business Objects, SAP Business Explorer. Crystal Reports is also something which SAP has acquired. SAP Lumira. Okay, these are the SAP native tools which can get data out of the SAP BW system. So it is nothing but, in summary, a form of data warehouse where BI, when we say it's a BI, it has also the capability of doing reporting with SAP driven tools as well as non-SAP driven tools. Okay, but when we say SAP BI, it means SAP BW plus the SAP tools. Okay, I'll move to the next one. So why SAP BW? Okay, so we saw several products, right, which I explained, right, which are very strong. They're very good products and doing very well, right? But why is SAP BW preferred? Okay, one of the key reasons is it's an SAP native product, which means it can very easily connect to all the SAP platforms. Very easily. You don't have to do anything, build anything extra. The capability is built within the system, and you can just configure and connect. Okay. At the same time, it gives the advantage of connecting with non-SAP source systems. Okay, so it gives the power from both the applications, because there may be some enterprises who may be using SAP systems, but they may say that, look, my certain application is a non-SAP platform. So what do? Can't I do reporting on top of that? SAP BW addresses that as well by connecting to those systems. Okay, and then there are certain business content available within SAP BW, which are cubes reports. I'll give an example. So when we talk about sales, how much sales has been done in a month, right? So when suppose that data has to be processed, there have to be containers, tables built, and the data has to be stored, and then reports have to be built. This is the magic of SAP, where they give that standardized. That okay, this is my sales order data. Okay, I have a standardized mechanism. I don't have to build from scratch. It is pre-built. I'll just enable it, create the connecting layer, and do the reporting. So that way, a lot of effort is saved. A lot of customization can be avoided. Okay, it becomes standardized. Okay, then I think which is one of the most important point is HANA, which has made a huge difference. I'll come to HANA just after this, but SAP BW is backed with HANA and its performance, which makes query performance extremely fast. Okay, SAP BW over a period of time has evolved and has given a real-time reporting. Now, real-time reporting, if I have to explain, right? When we are doing, suppose transaction, a user enters something into the production system, keeps entering data, right? That doesn't mean that that data can be immediately pulled out. Yes, there are ways to do that. But what happens is that may be an expensive thing to do. Why? Because when the user is typing something, it is getting stored in the database. At the same time, I'm trying to pull it out. It may make this whole system very slow. Okay? But with SAP, so that is why in most of the data warehousing systems, what happens is data is extracted at a time when there are less transactions. Typically, a night time is chosen where the data for the day is extracted from the production ERP system into the data warehousing system, and next day morning, business or the management, they get to see the data for yesterday. So it is not a real time data. But with HANA coming in and several other measures that have been put in, SAP BW gives that option of doing real-time reporting. When a user, the moment that user enters the data, that is visible to the management, which is a great improvement. They don't have to wait for next day. And similarly, though it is a SAP native product, it gives options, or as because it's storing the data, right? It can connect very well with reporting tools which could be SAP and non-SAP as well. Okay, and I think last but not the least, it can handle huge volume of data without impacting any performance. Okay, so this is the architecture. This is a very simple architecture I've tried to create, or for us to visualize. So let's see, these are the data sources. It could be SAP ECC, which is the core SAP system. Then there is a SAP CRM system. Then there is, suppose, a non-SAP HRMS. HRMS is nothing but an HR platform. So if an organization is running, it has its employees, right? And there are, we need a HR tool in order to process their payroll so that they are paid and all that, right? So it could be an SAP. SAP also has its HR management tool, but let's assume a customer has chosen a non-SAP platform, right? And there are some third-party databases which are not SAP. Okay, these are simple databases. So all that can be a data source for SAP BW. So the middle layer that we see, it is the SAP BW layer, where it gets data from all the source systems into its persistent data store. Okay, where it's nothing but it just gets the data as it is. It doesn't necessarily do anything there. It's just that that data is landing into the SAP BW environment. Then comes the operational data store, where it may make changes to the data, add certain things which I'll give a very simple example. From the source system, I'm getting day-wise data, but for my reporting, I may need to do a suppose month. Like I just need to find out what is the month, or there is a very common term called fiscal year. Like we know, right? In case of income tax, we have a fiscal year concept. So that fiscal year can be derived here from the date. Okay, so a lot of things are derived which may not come from the source system. Okay, and again, from the source system, first name and last name can come separately. When the data is being pushed to the operational data store, right? What can be done is it can be merged and the full name can be derived. Okay, and there is master data. So master data is nothing but where, suppose if I'm selling a product, I'm maintaining the product detail. Like, okay, this is a bottle of cola, for example, right? What is its capacity? What is the price? And all that, which are not transactional in nature. There is no rupee or a dollar value associated. How much sold has been sold? That's not it, right? It's just that I'm maintaining the detail. Whether I sell it in a bottle or a can, all those details are maintained in the master data, right? And there is a concept of virtual provider which has come at a later point with SAP BW being evolving. Virtual provider is what would directly connect to the source system and bring data real time. Okay, so based on the need that, okay, I have there is a current, whenever there is a sale going on, right? Management wants to see the real time data, right? So for those type of requirements, virtual providers can be enabled, which fetches the data and shows it real time. And if you see the topmost layer, it's the reporting tool, where there are SAP native tools, which is SAP BO, which is business objects, SAP BEX, which is business explorer. Then we have Crystal reports. Crystal reports mainly shows us the dashboard, where it shows beautiful graphs, okay, pie charts and all that. Whereas BO and BEX shows the data. Okay, the representation is better in SAP Crystal reports and in SAP Lumira for graphs, charts and all that. Okay, and non-SAP products also, like simple Excel, it can show data in Excel. Okay, then it could be a Tableau or a ClickView also. Okay, so this is a very simple architecture. Now let's slightly move into the more detailed version. Okay, which is nothing but, if you see, this virtual provider is here, master data is here, right? It just shows the inner layer, right? And if we see, that the operational data is coming from SAP data, from SAP system, operational data, and operational data is also coming from non-SAP system. Okay, and it can come from BW system also. Okay, a BW can also extract data from another BW system. Okay, so combining all this, a data modeling is being done, which is very important for a data warehousing concept, where I group similar data within my data warehouse system. Okay, and then on the right hand side, if we see, these are new concepts which SAP brought in, which is like a nearline storage. Nearline storage is nothing but, suppose I have old data. Beyond 2 years, I have to decide whether I want to keep the data in my system, or I can archive it somewhere. On need basis, I can pull it out. Okay, and there are certain accelerators. Okay, where I can use a HANA system and accelerate my data processing. Okay, and similarly at the top layer, the SAP BI layer is there, which gets data, and can visualize, help. If you see the examples there, right, there are charts, there are row level data which can be shown to the end users or to management. Okay, I'll move to the next one. Now, I have already talked about or referenced HANA a couple of times. What is SAP HANA and what relationship does it have with SAP BW? Okay, so to simply understand it, right, if you go back in time, it was launched somewhere in 2010-11. It was a absolutely futuristic concept at this point. Nobody could imagine that something like this can be done. Okay, so what is HANA? Is it a hardware? Is it a software? Actually, it is both. Okay, SAP started building a powerful system which has extremely high performance hardware, and coupled with software that SAP built as a product, and they started selling it as an appliance. Like SAP in general, softwares were available. You decide which server you want to do if you're a business, and they can you can install it there. You can buy it separately. But SAP HANA was brought in as an appliance, like we buy a CPU, right? Or we buy a TV, right? It comes as together. So that is exactly what it is. It's a server, where the software is also installed, right? Now, what are the important aspects, or how did it help SAP, right? First, it's, as I said, it has it was built with very high performance hardware to support blazing fast in-memory computing. Now, what is in-memory computing? Where the calculation, so I know, like, if I talk in terms of ROM and RAM, right? We understand it pretty well by this time, right? Or in a laptop, we have a hard disk, and then we have a RAM, right? So RAM is memory, and hard disk is where I store my data, right? So typically, my data is stored in the in my hard drive. A RAM is used to fetch that data to show it to me, and when I close it, it goes back to the hard drive. But SAP came up with a concept that why don't I make my hard drive itself in a memory? Okay, like increase the RAM so much that I can do all my computation in the memory itself. Which means I don't have to go to the hard drive, and when we suppose read a hard drive, there is a latency involved. It depends on how fast that drive is spinning, right? So they loaded everything in the memory. People were a lot of, when this concept was brought in, right, a lot of people, they did not believe that something like this is feasible to do at that point, but it was possible. SAP did that, and with that, they were able to show how it helped in making SAP much faster. Okay, and then data modeling and data management capabilities to facilitate real-time data processing and reporting. As I said, with HANA, it became even easier to do data management. Okay, as because it was being done in memory, and also modeling and real-time processing of data. Okay, it helped in data duplication, where because the data is already available in memory, right? You don't have to keep different layers of the data, right? You can directly the reports can directly hit the actual data and show it, right? Instead of storing it, again retrieving it. And the modeling concepts were also changed so that it helped a lot. And again, data source agnostic. Okay, it could get data. SAP HANA also being brought in, it did not change. It could still get data from SAP BW, ERP, or other source systems. Now, this is the overall SAP roadmap. So, 2012 is not when SAP BW started. I think SAP BW started way back. Okay, 1998 or 2000. Okay, when BW started, and it was evolving. But 2012 onwards, the drastic change started coming in, and I would draw your attention to the customer base of SAP, how it became, increased substantially from 500 customer SAP BW customer BW on HANA customers in 2013 to 4,000 plus in 2016, right? This is still evolving, but this is basically when during in between 2012 and 2016, SAP changed its product portfolio or upgraded it significantly. Now, what are the changes that happened, right? So, SAP BW 7.3 SP5 Service Pack 5 was basically when it started harnessing the power of SAP HANA in its true sense, and performance optimization was brought in. Okay. Now after that, if we see 2012, 13, 15, they are very closely packed because SAP was trying different things. It was trying to improve it continuously. 2000, in between 2013 and 15, SAP BW 7.4 was launched with SAP 5, powered by SAP HANA, which simplified data warehousing and simplified the BW on HANA concept and brought in virtualization. Okay, virtualization is where I can take data and do whatever I want with it without trying to store the data somewhere. Okay, I just do on the fly, right? I do whatever. It's a very powerful aspect of any database management or data warehouse management. Okay, now it further improved 2015 onwards when SAP BW 7.5 was launched, powered by SAP HANA. Again, simplification was done and big data scenarios were integrated. Okay, where HANA was completely integrated. Earlier HANA was more or less used as an accelerator, but HANA was completely integrated, and BW big data scenarios were also added. And finally, which is now a strong product, which is SAP BW for HANA, was launched in 2016. It is continually being improved, which is nothing but a HANA platform with BW capabilities. And SAP BW 7.5 is a SAP BW platform powered by HANA, but they changed the game completely where they came up with a HANA platform and gave it BW possibilities. Now, by the way, let me clarify. It is not that 7.4 is no longer used or 7.5 is no longer used. All these are currently available, and it depends on the customer how they are wanting to use it. What are their needs, right? Even new customers who are going for SAP implementation, they may go for suppose BW for HANA on HANA. But eventually SAP would want to integrate all that together. But even before that happens, right, there is still some time, and that is why SAP BW in its different versions is going extremely strong, and it has never lost its relevance. Okay. Now I'll come to the most important slide, at least for me, right? Being a practitioner in SAP BW, right? I have tried to break it into two aspects. One, why SAP BW? Number two, who should come to SAP BW? So let's do the why part first. Okay. So why? Number important part is it's in demand. Why it is in demand? Two aspects. One, data. We all know data it's called as the new oil. Data is what is helping enterprises, is helping businesses to improve their business, right? And it is extremely important data, right? And this is data warehousing. It is business warehousing. The second part is SAP. Obviously, SAP is the market leader for ERP, and it's a powerful product from SAP ERP. A combination of both, right? How better can it get, right? It can't get. That is why it is extremely in demand. Okay, and then evolving SAP BI. So what is happening is, as I was trying to take go through that journey, right? SAP is improving its analytics portfolio continuously. So what is happening is, a lot of experienced people, they also have to upgrade themselves. And when a new product comes in, right, which means a new person can also start from there. Because it may or may not come with the prerequisites or the knowledge. Obviously, a new person starting from a particular point would not have the same knowledge. But it is not like that you have to start from scratch and learn everything. Okay, so that is what is an important aspect, and is giving that opportunity to more and more consultants to come in to that fold. Okay, then the multiple options, like as I've showing, right, there are plethora of tools within SAP BI, right, like SAP BW, SAP different versions of SAP BW. Then we have SAP BW powered by HANA. There is HANA as a modeling tool, HANA as a data warehouse. Then there are the reporting tools, SAP Business Objects, SAP Lumira. So it's not, when we talk about BW, it's a concept. It is not one tool, or SAP BI is not one tool. It's a suite consisting of multiple tools where professionals are working in each and every tool. It's not possible for one to know everything, right? And that doesn't count also, right? So there are consultants who are who have experience, and they work in different those tools, and they make a career out of that, right? And last but not the least, the COVID-19 situation. How is it helping? It may come as a question, right? Because COVID-19, typically we see all of us as a very grave sort of situation, right? It is a grave situation, we understand. But at the same time, customers now have become extremely cost conscious. A car manufacturer, right? They want to, because the sale has dropped, they want to understand how I can cut my cost. So that to answer that how question, I need to understand the data, right? So that is where any data warehousing, and specifically SAP data, and analytics career, right? It is helping customers to get those important data points. Based on that, customers are taking a decision. Okay, I did not even know that in one of my plants I had an expenditure of suppose there was a surplus expenditure I was incurring for several years. There is a faulty machine which is consuming a lot of power, for example, right? Which is abnormal, right? As long as I'm a leader in that organization, if I do not have that data to make that decision, I don't know. So that is the reason this is helping. The COVID-19 has created a situation which is helping data warehousing consultants, SAP BI consultants to even make a career. There are more opportunities coming up. Okay, and then I'll come to the who part. So who all should do? First is freshers. Why not? Technical, non-technical freshers, right? Who want to make a career in the SAP world, definitely can take a training in SAP BI platform. Okay, and yes, the start has to be done from the scratch, but that is how it should work out, right? A fresher should always start from scratch, so that the knowledge gain is such that it can help that person to sustain in the long run. Okay, I create my base very well, and then I start building on top of that with my knowledge. Knowledge is not static, right? Whether it's 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, we still have to learn. I still have to learn as SAP is evolving, right? So I need a starting point. So for a fresher, that's a very good starting point, right? Then next is a data warehousing consultant. So a lot of people, right? For example, formed into a SAP consultant from data warehousing background, who are already into data warehousing or database background, right? They can get into this platform, right? Now somebody may come and question that, okay, you're suggesting a fresher to do, you're suggesting SAP consultants also to do, end users also to do. How does it help? Okay, it doesn't make sense. But it's not like that, right? Everybody, when they're learning, they have to start. Now when it's a data warehousing consultant who already has data warehousing experience,